Welcome to practice. We're going to begin kneeling, and I just grabbed a couple of blocks, but you could use a blanket or two. Blocks are good if you have trouble with your knees and you need more support. So no need to use them if you don't need them. But what I can do is make quite a high seat for my sit bones if it's too strong in my knee. But otherwise, just begin by kneeling, and you're going to try and put your ankles, so that's how you would use the block, sideways across your mat. Try and put your ankles either side of the blocks so your sit bones are on your support. That might just be a blanket or a couple of blocks or nothing, whatever's comfortable for your knee. Good, and we'll interlock the fingers and stretch out through the palms. Taking notice of the sensation where the posture might be challenging, might be the ankles. Please don't hurt your knees, so make sure you're sitting up high enough. And if it just doesn't work, just sit up tall with your legs out. Take the palms up now and draw the shoulder blades down. Relax your neck and your throat. And release the fingers on that side and swap the interlock to your other index fingers on. Stretch out through your palms. We'll keep the shoulder blades now. Take the arms up, stretch up through the palms, relax face, throat, neck. Good. And then releasing that side. Nice work. I'm going to turn around and release from your kneeling and come into an all fours position. Tuck your toes under. And we're going to kneel back onto the heels now. So it might be very strong in your feet, and you can keep your hands on the floor in front, or take the weight into your toes. Good, and then releasing, hands forward, release your feet. Good, stretch your fingers out wide. Little circles around your wrists. Good, we're going to tuck the toes under again and lift the knees just off the floor. Look forward. Lift the heels, lift the hips and let your head hang down towards the floor. Breathing deeply. Pressing your heels down, lifting your kneecaps, your quadriceps, your sit bones. Enjoying the flow of breath. Good. We're going to step the right knee towards the right wrist and then back to your dog pose. Good. And then left knee towards the left wrist and then back into your dog pose. Press the heels down. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Letting the shoulders be wider. Even bend the elbows out a little bit so you can really open the chest towards the legs. And then straightening your arms. And then right knee, right wrist, look forward. Good. Back to Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog pose. And then left knee, left wrist, looking forward. And back into your dog pose. Good. And then we're going to take the knees to the floor. Keep the toes tucked under. Walk your hands back to where you can manage. So as close to your knees as you can manage, or even just resting your hands on your legs and lifting the torso up to straight. And if your little toes aren't on the floor, if you have your hands free, you can even try and tuck those forward. You get a stretch right across your every toe. Nice work. Walk the hands forward again. And keep the toes tucked under. We're going to put the forearms down onto the floor. Good. So the elbows are about shoulder width. Press down through your forearms and lift your knees off the floor and look forward. Connecting to the flow of breath. Nice work. Release the knees back to the floor. Walk the hands back towards your knees, even resting them up onto your legs again. Keep all the toes tucked under, even the small toes, if you can help them. Depends on how triangularly your feet are. Good. And then we're going to release that. Just relax your feet. Walk your hands to the front of the mat. Good. We are going to come up into downward facing dog pose again. Good. And start to take little steps, but imagine that your feet were hands. Try and get every joint moving as you take these little steps forward. And when you run out of room, you're going to roll up, but really patting the feet as though they were hands. Good. And rolling up the front of the mat. Inhale, arms up, and then releasing. Nice. Just standing where you can see the device. We're going to have the feet underneath the hips. We're going to take the arms up and then swing forward. Swing your arms up behind you, look forward. And then we're going to bounce back up and lift up onto the hip toe. And again. And you can go faster if you like. You can keep it slow. Oh, hard to keep balance. For me. Bend your knees when you're comfortable. Nice. Lift right up onto you. So come up to standing. Lift right up onto your toe. Pick your arms up by your ears. Bend your knees. Whoa. Bend your knees. And then lower your heels. And then straighten your legs up onto your tiptoes. Bend your knees. Lower your heels. Straighten your legs. Up onto tiptoes. Bend your knee. Lower your heels. Straighten your legs. A couple more cycles. Get a nice rhythm of movement with your parallel legs. Good. And then release that. We're going to go in the other direction, but we'll do it with the arms behind to get a little opening for the chest. So hold your elbows. This time we keep the heels down, bend the knees, and then lift the heels and straighten the legs and lower the heels. So bend the knees, lift the heels, straighten the legs and lower the heels. And again, try and get a smooth feeling of the movement. Parallel legs. and then releasing. Okay, padding the feet. Just walking on the spot. I was noticing often if we get stiffer in the joints, especially the hips and the feet, we tend to walk by just throwing the weight forward. So just where you are on the spot, really pad as if you could walk like a leopard. So there's a cat-like quality to the feet. And we want to do that with our stepping forward and back on the mat. So come to the front of the mat. Tadasana. Finding your connection to the breath. Inhale, arms up. And as you exhale, Uttanasana. Good. And we're going to pad the feet back. So I was remiss. I didn't say if you need a chair to hold on to the seat of the chair rather than the floor, then we can grab one of those. But feel the feet really moving as though they are hands. So try and stretch your toes out wide and long. Padding all the way to the back of the mat. Good, and then all the way forward. Keep the back of the neck relaxed. So try to lift right up onto the toes as you lift the heels. So that every joint in your foot is truly moving. Good, until you run out of room in your back and your hips. Good, and then rolling up. And Tadasana. At the front of the mat now, and you might have the seat of a chair if that's a bit too much to ask of your body to put your hands on the floor. Inhale, arms up. And as you exhale, Uttanasana. Beautiful. Well, take a big step back with the left foot, and it's for warrior one. So your back heel won't be quite on the floor. Your feet from side to side, about hip width. Try to press your back heel and feel your front foot really beautifully connected to the floor. So every joint is active in this balance game. Keep the rib cage reaching forward, and then lift your arms, palms up, and look forward. We're going to sweep the torso up from here, feeling that balance in the front foot. Bend the front knee. Virabhadrasana 1. Shoulder blades reaching down. Back of the neck lengthening. Good. Reaching forward with the torso now. Hands back down onto your support or the floor. Good. We're going to balance on the front foot, the right foot, and lift the left leg up behind into a preparation for warrior 1. Keep the hips level to the floor. Stretch back through the heel. Lift the left leg, but don't lift the left hip. Lift the breastbone, looking forward. Feel the balance in that front foot. Nice. And if you really have your good balance, you can try taking your hands off the floor and lifting them up by your side, palms up, looking forward. Good. We're going to put the hands back down or just lift up, bring the left foot in front. Good. Bring the arms up by the ears with your left foot in front and feel the balance of the right foot. As though it were holding the floor like a hand. Good. And then releasing that side. Nice work. Inhale, arms up. Look up. Good. As you exhale, Uttanasana. Finding ease for your back here. So we can give the legs a good stretch, but always looking for that easeful spine. Great. Right leg back. Press the back heel. Bend the front leg. Good. Really feeling your front foot now. Toes are wide. Use the foot as though it were a hand, so you've got movement in every joint. Adjustment can be made instantly for your balance. Beautiful. Breastbone lifting up, looking forward. Bring the hands up by your side. Lift the palms. Reach the fingertips back. Pressing the back heel. Feeling connected to your breath and the power available in your body. As we lift the torso now, arms up by the ears, warrior one. So drop the hips a little closer to the floor. Lift the right hip, lift the belly, lift the breastbone, looking up. Ah. Nice work. Bring the hands back down onto the floor. And we're going to lift up the right leg this time, warrior one. Keep your hands on the floor or the seat of the chair. Lift the breastbone, looking forward. Press out through the right heel. Lift the right leg, but keep the hip level. Good. Feel that left foot really holding the floor. And if you have your balance, you can take your hands up by your side, palms up, breastbone looking forward. Good. And then lifting up, stepping forward. Whoa. Hard on that side. Good. Keep the arms up by the ears and lifting your right leg now. Feeling the left foot holding the floor like a hand. Every joint movable. I can move my hands. I can't help it, as though I'm holding the floor. All right, feet underneath the hips. Nice work. We're going to pad the feet back into downward facing dog pose. Let's take arms up, Urdhva Hastasana, Uttanasana. Good, and then see how you go with that really movable feet. So that the toes move, lift the heels, try every movement that you have available in your feet, even pressing the inside edges, the outside edges. Get them moving. Downward facing dog pose. Press your heels down towards the floor. Let your head just hang down, shoulders wide. Nice work. We're going to pad the hands back towards the feet. You can see the difference. We've forgotten about the flexibility of our feet because we put them in shoes. Let's see how movable the hands are because we use every part of them. And then pad them forward again. Hands forward. Downward facing dog pose. Nice work. And then padding the feet forward. I say padding because it really is a more cat-like, a tree cat. As though you had to hold on to a branch Good. And then we're going to come into a squat position where your feet are in a comfortable enough position. Now, if your knees don't like squatting, just be in a semi-squat. So you might have your hands up on the seat of your chair, or you can have your hands on your legs. If you're comfortable squatting, then put your hands on the floor in front of you. We're going to lift right up onto the balls of the feet. Please stretch your toes again. Good. And then press your heels down. And then right up onto the balls of the feet. And then press your heels down. And one more right up onto the balls of the feet. I forgot to remind everyone to lift the pelvic floor when you're in a squat position and onto the balls. Good. And then we're going to stand up, roll all the way up. Tadasana. Tadasana. Nice. And then we're going to sit down. So we've really worked on our foot flexibility today. So maybe sitting without using your hands might be getting a little bit closer. But sit however it feels safe for you to do. Sitting in a simple leg position, could be cross legs, or if it's more comfortable for your knees, legs out in front. Feet are relaxed now. We're going to lean over to the right side. So I'll look opposite. But I need you to anchor your left hand somehow. So you could sit on it under your left sit bone. This is quite a nice one to do in a chair, actually, sitting at the front of the chair and holding the side of the chair, because you can get a good grip on the chair. So you're trying to anchor your left hand. We're leaning to the right. Okay, we're leaning in the same plane as the torso, shoulders, and just let your head hang down to the right ear towards the right shoulder. Finding it. And then very gently, you're going to turn your left cheek back a little. Listen to how your neck feels. You might be able to look up towards the ceiling. Very gently, turning your head back to the front. And lift your whole torso. And then gently lifting. And then swap the cross of the legs if they're crossed. Anchor your right hand under your right hip bone, or hold on somewhere to the side, so that you can lean over to the left side. We want the body to really lean. And probably the first thing you feel stretching is somewhere from the shoulder down your right arm. But then as we release the neck, you'll feel more of a stretch in the neck. So let your left ear be closer now to your left ear. So we're trying to keep the head in an alignment with the front of the body to start with. Just letting the head hang in that direction. You might start to feel a stretch down the side, right side of your neck. Beautiful. Enjoying connecting to your breath. Okay, now we're going to keep that leaning and very gently turn your right cheek back. Turning back, you might be able to look up at feeling. Oh, enjoy. And then turn your face back to the front. Lift up your whole torso and then lifting your head, up your chin into your chest, back of the neck. And then looking up, keeping the back of the neck long. Only far enough that it feels like you're really lengthening the vertebrae of the neck. Good. And then release. And we're going to take the legs out in front straight. There's your magnificently flexible feet. All right, we're going to swim the arm. And we're looking to reach the right arm to the outside of the left leg, the left arm to the outside of the right leg. And you're going to make the movement feel nourishing for you in this moment. So we just did that lovely sequence to relax your neck. So keep your neck really relaxed. Reach back as far as your body wants, as far forward as your body wants. Inviting easeful and graceful movement. It happens when we really tune in to our awareness, noticing where our body feels resistant, where the movement feels easy. Let's do both arms for a couple of rounds. Remember, keeping your neck really relaxed. And then when you reach forward next time, hold on. And that might be holding somewhere on your side, through your legs. And some people even completely easily hold the feet. You then pay attention to how you landed. So we want to keep the neck relaxed. Let's see if we can bring the bones of the middle back a little bit further forward and take the shoulder blades back. So we free up space in the back of the neck. Good. Connect to that deep breath. And as you inhale, lift your breastbone onto the heart. And as you exhale, bones of the spine embedding forward. Good. Now, if your knees tolerate it, you can press the back of your legs down to the floor. Inhaling, lifting the breastbone. And as you exhale, bones of the spine embedding forward. Each breath, an opportunity to explore both the resistance and the ease in the body. Good. And then inhaling and coming up. Good. We're going to lay down onto our back. Take the left heel onto the right knee and bring the legs in close as they'll go to your chest, and hold where it makes sense. You might be able to put your left hand under the left calf and hold the front of the right knee. That's a complicated instruction. It's where it makes sense. Relax your shoulders, relax the back of the neck long. All right, we're going to use the breath to see if we can get the right knee a little closer to the right shoulder. As you exhale, squeeze the knee in towards the shoulder. And as you inhale, let the stretch off a little. Find that sense of ease and openness in the body. Good. As you exhale, press your lower back a little. Bring the right knee towards the right shoulder. Inhale and let off the intensity of the stretch. Good. So balancing with the breath, exhaling, right knee towards the right shoulder. And inhaling and finding a little more ease. Keep going. Good. And then release that side. And second side. Right heel, left knee. Maybe quite different on your second side. Maybe easier or maybe more resistant. So paying attention and using the breath as you exhale. Press your lower back a little. And bring the left knee towards the left. Inhale and let off the intensity of the posture. So you look for ease. Keep going with each breath. Nice work. Release that side. Take the feet down onto the floor and arms out from your shoulders. We're going to cross the left thigh over the right. Lift the hips, swing them to the left, and knees to the floor on the right. Now, if they don't reach all the way to the floor, you could put your blanket under your knees, making it a more comfortable proposal. Turning your head gently to the left. Notice where the body resists, and with the breath, finding that ease with each inhalation. With the exhalation, letting the legs lay more heavily. Good. And then we're going to lift the leg your core, whole core working to keep an ease for the back. Good. Back to center. Inside edges of the feet together, knees together. Right thigh over the left thigh. Lift your hips and swing them to the right and knees go. Keep your blanket under your knees if you need that little extra support. And then with each breath, notice where you're holding tension. See if you can let it go. With each exhalation, we let the legs lay more heavily. And turn your head to look over your right arm. Core awareness. So when you lift your leg, you feel thorough support for the spine. Nice. Grab your blanket if you don't have it nearby. And we're going to do bamboo pose. So the blanket goes underneath the hips, and it's a little bit different for each body where you put that. But basically, you want to allow your legs to hang in towards your torso. So pick your feet up off the floor, knees hang in towards the torso. So they're just balanced. You're not straining your back or your belly to hold your legs up. If you find that you're straining, put your feet on the floor and just keep the blanket under your hips. Sometimes you need to move the blanket further towards the waist or away from the waist to get it in the right spot. So we have the legs balanced, and then you can take a position for the arms that's going to nurture your body this morning. So I like cactus arms. They tend to be tied in that external rotation in the shoulders. So elbows straight out from the shoulders, back to the hands towards the floor. Some people are going to feel more comfortable with hands on the belly. Tune into the belly. Feel it broaden and hollow towards the spine. Feel the breath there. With every exhalation, scan your body and see where you can let go of tension. Mm. Good, and then hugging in your hands, your arms, release your legs. Hug your legs into your chest. I do love this pose. So from here, you might need to finish your practice. Namaste. You're right. And if you'd like to stay for a shavasana, then lay your legs out and lengthen your spine. Maybe find it covering if you've had a frosty morning like we have. Mm. Let the legs just roll out. No more work to do. You might like to wriggle yourself a little against that flat support underneath you. So the curves of your spine feel long. Back of the neck feels long. And the chest feels broad. Feeling the flow of the breath. Flow of the season around you. Bring your focus now just to your toes. Each toe. Feel whether it touches its neighbor or is resting separately. Feel the flow of breath there. And now the soles of your feet. Arches and tops of your feet. Your ankles. Lower leg. Feeling the flow of breath. Your knees. Your thighs. Hips. Pelvis. Pelvic floor. The organs residing in the pelvis. Buttock. Around the sacrum. Your lower back. Middle back. Then your shoulder blade. Back rib. Side rib. Front rib. And now your shoulders. Your flow of breath. Your armpit. Upper arm. Elbow. Forearm. Wrist. And palm. And thumb. And And now the back of your neck. Your throat. Base of your skull. Scalp. Forehead. And around your eyebrows and between them. Around your eyes. Nose. Mouth. Lips. And tongue. Jaw. And ears. Maybe you can hear the flow of your breath in your whole body. Breath by breath. Feel the weight of your body supported. The light touches of the air and clothing, hair on your skin. The feeling of being still and the potential movement in that stillness. And so as you start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, each joint in your hands and your feet, your hands, your arms, your legs, explore that potential movement, vitality, and rolling to your right side. And when you're ready, come up to sitting. Whatever comfortable leg position so you can have a long spine. Bring your hands in front of your heart. Namaste.